Hare Krishna. I am Kamal Lochnas, currently the president of ISKCON Mira Road, and I'd like to speak on how I came to Krishna consciousness and how I joined this movement. First, I would like to give my background. I was born in a South Indian Brahmin family, and right from my childhood I was searching for something spiritual and at the same time very practical. So for that I was trying to go into different organizations, I just read many spiritual books, but I was totally frustrated because I was not coming to any proper conclusion. As any average Indian boy is expected to do good in studies, my parents were expecting to do me also to be good in excelling in studies. Somehow or other I got into Marine Engineering College. It was in Calcutta. In the third year of my college, I had a lot of time. So I was going to different books, just trying to search out what is the goal of life. What is life meant for? Is it life just meant for working hard, getting good certificate, joining a job, earn some money, get into family life, rear children, and just ultimately die? And at the same time, I found the entire atmosphere around me, my friends and others, they are just wasting their time in talking different subject matter which is of no use. Basically, it is all centered around criticizing someone or following some petty things in this world. Most of the talks were criticizing someone, pulling the leg of someone, using all slang language. I was thinking, life is not meant to spend with these kind of people around me. Somehow, one day it so happened, I was doing my regular college routines in my college, that is, I was doing regular exercise and workouts. I was doing for evening workouts. While doing the jogging in the field, I found there was a bus on which the name of ISKCON was written. At the time I was not even able to pronounce this word consciousness properly because I was just running. One of my friends told me there is a program in the auditorium. Why didn't you come? I told, what program is it? He told, there is a spiritual program. I told, what spiritual? I have seen none of spirituality. I should take spiritual program. Why you should listen to it? That's what I told him. Then my friend told, no, there is something very special today. They are distributing prasad also. So then I thought, what is this prasad? Let me go and see. So when I went into the auditorium, there was a class going on, rather it was just about to start. Then I saw the entire auditorium was full, and I was shocked to see for a spiritual program an auditorium was full. And I saw a saffron clad person was chanting some mantras. That technically now I came to know it's Mangalacharan. Then he spoke one line. That line was so effective that I thought that these people are speaking something sensible. And I find it is very important for every one of us to know what it was. Rather, still today, if at all I have really understood any of Srila Prabhupada books or any of spirituality, it is that line which struck to me. The devotee was speaking. He was actually an IIT graduate. He was speaking that everybody in this world is searching for happiness. But in pursuit of happiness, everybody is undergoing some suffering. And he told, let us take the reverse. If suppose somebody tries to become unhappy or in pursuit of unhappiness, naturally some people will become happy in middle. As much as unhappiness comes without we seeking for it, happiness also comes without we seeking for it. Happiness and unhappiness is not in our control. It is destined according to the law of karma. When I heard this line, I felt that these people are speaking something sensible. That is the time I started inquiring. After the class, there was a question answer session, and maximum questions were asked by me. And after the question answer session, when prasadam was distributed, my friends they went to the hostel, and I and a couple of devotees were there, having a heated argument, sometimes discussions, sometimes inquiries, sometimes satisfactory answers, sometimes unsatisfactory answers. It went on till 11:30 for 2.5 hours. And somehow that whole night I could not sleep, because I was so happy that there are some sensible people on this earth. It is at the age of 19, I was so happy to find somebody sensible to talk to. Because everyone spoke about money, they spoke about women, they spoke about how they enjoyed this, how to enjoy that. But a real happiness, a real satisfaction of all the inquiries, what I had, I could only find from these people who are from Hare Krishna. They were not only talking very logical, they were very nice in their behavior. And I felt so guilty of my rude behavior towards them by inquiring, but in spite of my rude behavior, they are very tolerant and they are very humble and they are very pleasing in talking. I thought that there are some wonderful people in this world. That was the first experience which I had. And they gave me a lot of prasadam. When I came back to the hostel thinking that I'll go into the room and have the prasadam, it's a big bowl of halwa which I got. The moment I came, all my friends just piled onto me and just snatched the prasad and ate everything. Not even a piece was left for me. Somehow at that time they had advertised that there is a course or a yoga retreat program in Mayapur. Then that was costing 108 rupees. At the time as a student, to spare 108 rupees for 2 days, it's a big thing for me. So I took a decision, anyhow, this month I will not do any expenditure and this 108 rupees will be a good investment for 2 days going to somewhere and come. Who is going to take us, drive us 150 kilometers up and down and give food, prasadam and stay and all these things, 108 rupees, it's a good bargain. So I thought 108 rupees I gave and then went. And directly when I went there, the first session was with in the Gurukul, Mayapur Gurukul. So in Mayapur Gurukul, the discussion was between Vedic education and modern education. In that, I would like to quote one particular instance, which is very amazing, which was the instance which made me think that if there are anybody in this world who are speaking truth, that it is the Hare Krishnas. So many questions were asked, many answers were given. When this talk was going on, one of my friends asked the Swamiji who was there, Swamiji, you are talking about spirituality, then what about advancement? The Swamiji answered, you are talking about advancement, you think you are very much advanced? What you all people are? For your information, I was studying marine engineering, that we are into merchant navy. So then he told, we are into merchant navy. Then the Swamiji told, you people, though you are so much puffed up because you are in merchant navy, but ultimately what you are doing? You are coolies. What does a coolie do? The coolie takes other person's luggage from one place to other place. And you think that you are sophisticated engineers, you are that and you are this. What are you doing? You are taking others' luggage from one place to other place. Ultimately, it boils down to that. My friend and many of them, they felt bad because of this. But I was so happy because I heard truth on the face, spoken very frankly, at the same time very nicely. We hardly find people who speak truth in this world. I thought about my father, my parents, my mother, my brother. Everybody told, oh, you should do that, you should do that, you should enjoy that, you should get money. Nobody told this thing. Everybody told me that you are doing something wonderful in this world. First time I heard, and which was going on in my heart, that what I am doing is actually nonsense. It is actually not worthwhile for a person who is born in a Brahmin family, that in India. That is the day I took a vow. Let whatever may be, I will read the Bhagavad Gita, and my life is meant to teach Bhagavad Gita. And I thought about my own family members, my ancestors. My father's side, my great-grandfathers, they were all managing different mattas in the Madhva Sampradaya. My father's side, they were also great farmers, they were teachers. And now I should continue the same tradition. But I was not finding a platform. And I thought ISKCON is the best platform where not only I can be satisfied with my spiritual life, but can engage my tendencies of teaching Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Vedic culture, not only just within India, but around the world. And it is just the first day in Mayapur, and that meeting with Swamiji, I had taken a vow. It just took about 4 or 5 years more to practically come and join the ISKCON as an ashram, as a brahmachari in the ashram. But that is the day I took a vow that my life is meant to propagate Bhagavad Gita. It is not meant to do some engineering, get some money, buy some house, get married, produce children, that every Tom, Dick and Harry is doing in this world. Because right from childhood I was revolutionary, and I had no platform to express and execute my revolutionary ideas. And I was so happy in the recent past. I was reading Bhagavatam, where there's a verse which says, Tadvag visargo janathaga viplavo yasmin pratishloka madhyavadyapi namarupani shonkitani yat shrunvanti gayanti gidanti sadhavaha. Bhagavatam predicts that there will be a revolution in the sinful life of the people. So this ISKCON is meant for revolution people. And there are many boys in India, especially somebody who is born in India, their whole life is just meant to study Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and preach Krishna consciousness. And ISKCON is the best platform. So that is why I joined it. Hare Krishna.